Hey, hey, hey. Guess what? You think I was going to say it's Friday night? No, I know that it is Monday night, but we are around the table. I have a very special episode tonight with a very special queen friend of mine. So I just want you to do me a favor, invite someone in, share the broadcast, invite someone to join us so that we can sit around the table right now and just have a good time tonight. For about 40 minutes, we're going to just sit around this table and enjoy being each other. I'm going to bring my guests in right now, and we are going to get started with this super special episode. Hi, Queen Valerie. How you doing?
I am well. How are you, Queen?
I am fantabulous. I am just so excited. This is out of the norm for me to be with on a Monday night with around the table. So you are definitely special tonight, and I welcome you to sit here with me at around the table. Don't forget, share, share, share. Let someone know that we are on, and we'll be here sitting around the table, chopping it up for just a few minutes tonight. So, where are you again? You're in Boston, correct?
No, I am in Palmyra, New Jersey. Little
New
tiny little
Jersey,
town.
Palmyra, New Jersey. Well, I guess you are on the East Coast and I'm in the Virgin Islands. Guess what?
Yes.
I just got over a 24-hour of a hurricane watch. And so the weather here has been really raining and winds blowing and everything. But guess what? I am here tonight and excited that you are here with me. And we are going to get started because I am just so excited about your book. And I want us to talk about your book and whatever else you really want to talk about. So let's get started. My first question to you is, um, I know that you have written some other books, correct?
Yes. Yes.
What other books have you written besides the one that we're going to discuss tonight?
I've written Knight in Rusted Armor, Mistaken
Okay,
Identity. That was before this book. That is about domestic violence.
okay,
Um, caregivers, how about I can't remember the name of my own book? Caregivers Unconditional Love. That's an
okay.
anthology from different people who were caregivers because I was a caregiver for my husband for 14 years. Um,
Wow.
then I wrote Who Ordered These Shoes. That was my that was the beginning of my writing. Right after my husband passed away, I used writing as therapy. So I talked about our
Okay.
14-year journey and then went from there. And of course, I'm in numerous anthologies. So I'm like a five-time best-selling author. So
That was one of my questions to you about your anthology and being a co-author and that experience, but we'll get back to that.
mhm.
We are going to focus tonight on talking a bit about your book, Break the Silence.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. When I saw that title, I said, hmm. So many of us are like, Mom is the word. We don't say anything. And then you had a subtitle, Remove the Mask and Heal. And
Yes.
so I said, I need to get a little bit more deeper and a little bit more understanding what this book is about. So let me have her on the show. So I am so glad you're here. So, Valerie, tell us a little bit about this book, Break the Silence, Remove the Mask, and Heal.
Well, this book is an anthology as well, but it's a small anthology with a small amount of authors. But
Okay.
it's almost like I want it to be a movement because I'm going to do some more follow-up books after this. But in our life takes us on many, many journeys, and some are good, some are bad. And but the different emotions and traumas that cause us to become silent and suppress all those things are what I wanted to get out. I wanted people to know that that's the cause of your stress, that's the cause of your anxiety, the cause of your depression. And I want you to be able to speak up. one of the things I talk about a lot is, we like to always coin ourselves as the strong woman. And,
Yes.
I want us to get away from that little coin of talking about ourselves. Because to me, what I noticed as being a strong woman was that I didn't want to tell anybody anything. I didn't want to talk about it.
Mm.
I didn't want you to know about it. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. So I kept it all in. But when you seen me on the outside, you thought I had it going on. Like everything was fine.
Are you
But
speaking about from the perspective of domestic violence
domestic
or
violence, anything that you want to
anything?
suppress.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
mine was more so my life. After my husband passed away, after the domestic violence situation, with COVID, it gave me some time to reflect.
Hmm.
Because we're in the house, what else are we going to do? We can't run away from anything.
Yeah, we all were in the house. Yes.
Exactly. So I began to reflect about my unhappiness, my depression, and my anxiety, thinking, all the time thinking it was from, my husband's illness, his passing, the domestic violence. But in reality, it was from my childhood.
Oh, wow.
And that blew me away. Um,
Wow. Yes.
it's just hard to describe at first because how do you know that you're not in, that your family is dysfunctional in some type of way that will affect you later in life? And I found that,
You're
even though
into the
I had a good
dysfunction.
childhood and
Uh-huh.
we went everywhere, I had everything. If I wanted to say a phone, but back then we didn't have phones, but if I wanted a phone, I would not get one, I would get like five.
Wow.
I would get everything.
Yes.
The thing that was missing was that unconditional love, that love that I needed to help me to become the woman that I should have become. And instead, I became bitter and broken and bled on everyone because I was so unhappy with myself because I didn't really understand what happiness was because my grandmother raised me and she raised my cousin who I call my sister. Whenever you hear me talk about my sister, I'm usually talking about her. And to my grandmother, she was the ultimate wonderful person and I was the black sheep. Even though we did a lot of things alike, with me being so authentic and transparent, you knew I was doing it, but you didn't know she was doing it.
Well, she was doing it.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Well,
So it
just
just made
just
it.
a second. You are dragging a little bit, so I want to try to see if I could adjust. Hey y'all, I see you. Thank you for your comments. Hey Diamond, how you doing? Heidi, thank you for joining us. Cynthia, thank you so much. I am sitting around the table tonight with my very special guest, this very special episode with Valerie, and we are I'm just trying to adjust something to so that she does not, if she is drag so much so you can hear her clearly. You can go ahead, Val. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So I realized that I just was not happy as a child, and that's what made me,
Hmm.
always lash out at people, just be unhappy. And I decided that I needed to do something about it. So, in my healing from, the loss of my husband, the domestic violence, and then realizing, what happened to me in my childhood, and that I wore a mask for many, many, many
Mm,
years.
yes, yes, yes.
And I want women to know, my biggest thing is that I like to empower, inspire, educate, and equip women to be all that they can be. What God has
Okay.
called us to be, I want you to be.
Well, that's really good because that was going to be my next question to you. What is your why for writing this book? And I guess you're telling it now because you want to really inspire women, help women. And I think when you look at this, you're opening up um a avenue for
Hmm.
other women to be able to speak who may have gone through that childhood trauma and have kept it in, who may have been in a bad marriage and have kept it in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why writing is so important. And that's why I love interviewing authors, so that people know how important it is to write things down.
Yes.
It can turn out to be a book. And
Yes.
so, how what a better avenue to help other women break the silence by getting a book in their hand when you can't speak to each one individually. But the
Yes.
thing that you said that I want us to really understand is a lot of the traumas that we deal with and we go through stem from our childhood, because we're either told what happens in this house stay in this,
Yes.
or we're not going to talk about it, or somebody that you may confide in, if something happens they don't believe you. So those are the things that keep you silent. But breaking the silence now at your matured part of life and get
Mhm.
this healing, so now you can help others heal. So I love it. I love the concept of this book. But I want to say, you said that this is an anthology, so that means that other women wrote on the same topic and same subject
Yes.
as you did. So we
Mhm.
have different points of views and different stories that we can read from this,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes. I have, it's two, it's three other authors.
Okay.
Um, and they all talk, these, and one of the women I know very well.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard her story, I was taken back. I was like, what? So that's what I'm saying.
Silence.
Years you keep the silence.
Yes.
And just think what it's doing to you. Not only is it unhealthy, it's stressful. It's a very big cause of depression, and your bitterness and brokenness towards other people, bleeding on everyone else. And you don't, my life was so, that was my norm. So I didn't think that I was doing anything different. I thought I was just
Mm.
a little fuzzy, that didn't
Yes.
have any crap. No, I was hurting so bad that I didn't want to hear or appreciate anything that you were doing because it wasn't happening for me.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of women are. And I was just talking to my fiance about some people in the church, in our church, and you can pick up on people's energy. Like, they can act all they want and they can keep that mask on, but when you've been through it and you know that you know that you can't keep hiding it, and you
No.
have to let it out. You have to let it out.
Yes. Yes. You got to let it out. Tamika is saying no more silence. No more
Absolutely.
silence, because those things, when you keep so silent about things, it really um continue to traumatize your life.
And your health, stress,
Keep you,
stress kills people.
yeah, and keep you in that place of being powerless.
Hmm.
So when you open your mouth, you actually take your silence back. Yes, Cynthia, that this is powerful, and that's why we have to have these kind of conversations and have these kind of formats that we can have these kind of conversations, because here you go, you are now in your matureness of life, and only now you're breaking this silence. Let me ask you this question: how do you feel right now about where you are?
Let me tell you something. I never believed that I could be as happy as I am right now. Even before, before this latest, journey in my life, me breaking my silence and living my best life for me, nobody else, for me.
Yes.
I wrote something today on Facebook. I'm too busy worrying about what you're doing because I'm wearing my own green grass.
uh,
So
yes.
I've healed from all of that trauma. I enjoy empowering and equipping women and helping them to heal by breaking the silence and telling their story and helping them to heal through holistic techniques, meditation, deep breathing, yoni steaming, all of those things. It's just that I want women to feel as good about themselves as I feel about myself. I want your self worth, I want your confidence to soar and not think that you are less than anyone else, that you have to compete with anyone else. I
Oh,
want you to complete people, not compete with people.
that is good. That is good. You want to complete people, not compete. And that's one of the things as women that we have to learn to do.
Hmm.
To really be sister friends, be, queen sisters with each other, whatever it is that we need to do instead of finding ways to compete with each other. But one of the things that I have learned is that women try to compete with each other out of insecurities.
Yes, yes.
And
And
once we
the lack
can
of
manage both,
confidence.
yeah,
Hmm.
once we can talk about the issues, talk about the things that are going on, with such as a book as yours, taking that mask off, starting to let people really see the real you and who you really are, and
Hmm.
not being afraid to really express certain things, then things start to shift and change. And so I really love that. It's time for us to complete each other and not to compete with each other.
You know
Thank
that
you, Cynthia.
when you said what you said, sometimes we tend to want to not do that. We talk about being a strong woman. That's the strong woman, the woman that can complete and not compete. The strong woman that will turn around and hold her hand out to pull that other woman up and help her.
Yes, yes.
That's a strong woman. Instead of that, oh girl, I'm doing this, and I don't need no help. I don't need nobody to help me. Yes, you do, girlfriend, because that's why you need to break the silence.
Yes, yes. Listen, you have seemed to be in so many projects, a few anthologies. You've written two other books, and what advice do you have for someone who may be thinking about writing a book?
To
What should
write,
they do?
to just write. I remember when I wrote my first book. You always think that you can't write. When you write from your heart, if you have a story, there's no story like your story. You hold your own secret sauce, and people need to know about your secret sauce. So tell the story.
Yes,
The only story that isn't written is the one that you haven't told.
that's right.
So tell your story. And for me, mine was, from pain to purpose, from tragedy to triumph, from loss to boss. God
Ooh,
has allowed me to visit all of that. And I am who I am, first of all, because of him, but because he's given me has equipped me to do that. That's why I can be successful, because I follow what he says.
amen. And that is so good that we make sure that we include God in whatever it is we do, because there's a lot of people that want to write, they're afraid to write, and like you said, all they have to do is start writing and then include God in the process. Ask him to guide, lead you, and direct you. What is it you're trying to get across with this book? Who do you want to read it? And he will give you the answers. One other thing, because you've written so many books, how do you go about getting your books published? How do you publish your books? Are you a self-published?
No, I have a publisher, but I wanted to start getting into self-publishing. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
talking to a couple people that have some printing companies and some things like that. But I kind of like the using a publisher because they do the editing, they do all that,
Yes,
and to
yes.
get it out.
So you actually
Um,
do use a publisher
yeah.
versus and that's one of the things that why I asked you that question is because I understand that there's a lot of self-publishing going on and it's good to do, but I think that when you are working in so many projects one after the other, it's good to have a publisher. I'm getting ready to release my anthology that I did with 9 other women in about
Mhm.
a month or so. And working with a publisher was the best experience that I've ever had. All my other books, I self-published my books myself, but
Mhm.
this particular project, working with an editor, and we actually had a writing coach, and it
Yes.
was just an awesome experience. So I just said that so that if any of you out there thinking about writing a book and you don't know everything about the book, get yourself a publisher. Let that publisher help you get through the first book. Then, if you decide you want to self publish after, go ahead. But I'm telling you, to have a good publisher goes a long, long
Yes.
way with getting your projects done. And I'm getting ready to actually do 2 or 3 more projects. So I don't want to self-publish them myself. I want
Yeah.
to have that publisher.
Mhm.
So listen, tell me, um, do you do anything else? Like I know that I've seen you a couple of times having a talk show. Could you tell us a little bit about your talk show?
My talk show is based also on speaking up. It's called Speak Up and Speak Loud. You know,
Speak up and speak loud. I love it.
and that's, again, we've all been, through life. We know life is rude and disrespectful, but you hold the key to your destiny.
Uh-huh.
You have the ability to change that. So I want women, and and now I have men on the show. Before it was just women, and it began as a domestic violence talk show. But I'm sure, as you know, and your listening audience know, that domestic violence victims are not going to come on and talk. They are not going to come on and talk.
No, no.
So, we had a couple, and then, it died down. So I want to hold a safe space. I want you to know that this is a safe space where there's no judgment, there's no embarrassment, no pointing the fingers. It's just a safe space where you can talk about your traumas, your tragedies, even your joys. We want to celebrate your joy and then love
Yes.
you through your traumas and your tragedies and your pain. And my mantra is what I've been through will help you get through, because I've been through a lot. I have been through hell and back. And praise God, like they say, I don't look like what I've been through. And when I would hear that, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Let me tell you something. God is good. God is good all the time. I do not
Yes.
look like what I've been through. Not at all. If
Yes.
it wasn't for him, I couldn't be standing here talking to you right now.
My goodness. I think all of us kind of have that story. But one of the things I know as an author, how do you actually position yourself to write? Do you have to have peace and quiet, or is it something that you um I can just write. If something comes to my mind, I go and I jot. Some people have to sit down in a quiet place. How do you focus on getting your material for writing? What do you do?
Sometimes I sit and reflect. Sometimes it could be something I've noticed outside, that makes me, oh, look at that.
Oh,
It will bring back some type of memory, or something that I want to write about, or I've read
okay.
something, or I hear someone say something that's similar to what goes on in my life. And, because now I'm preparing to write this book about my life, my life with, finding that, I was from a dysfunctional family. So I'm doing some research because I want to know about dysfunctional families. I want to know about, having that little girl inside that wants to come out. What is that
Mm,
all about? And
yes, yes, yes.
the traumas and the tragedies that I've been through. Because when I talk about things, when I talk on different subjects, I don't like to just talk. I can talk from my experience because I'm telling my story. So I don't like need to rehearse and all that. I'm telling you the truth.
Yes,
I don't need any coaching. I don't need anything. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But I like to have defined definitions of certain things. So I'll do some research. I'll talk to other women that have had issues like this. I'll post questions, survey questions on Facebook. You know, where is this where you thought you would be at this stage of your life? If not, where did you think you would be? And then you can get, you know, something from that and then develop a question or a chapter in a book. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
really like lifestyle, reflection, and just going back and going inside and getting all that
Yes.
shit that's inside to come out. You know, if you can, I can write probably 99 books from what's inside. So
Well, that's a good thing. That means that there's a lot of thinking in your head. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to just tell us a little bit about what's next for you. What are you up to next? What is your plans for the next 2023 is coming up? What is your plans? Is there a couple of books that I know you said that you want to write, that you're writing a book right now, but you just said you can write about 99 books. So what is exactly your plan? Are you planning to really write a few books next year? See,
well,
because
next
people have
year,
to know that it is possible that you could write 2 or 3 books a year.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, one of the things I want to do is write a Breaking the Silence journal.
A what?
Breaking the Silence journal
Oh my
with
goodness, that's good.
affirmations, you know, for
Okay.
them. And then some
Okay.
of the tools that I used for my healing, you know, as just part of, you know, the self-care portion of the book. But my
Yes.
book that I really want to write, and this is what has been burning in my heart, is it's called, I already have the title. It is called It Is What It Is Until It Isn't. You know,
Ooh.
so
It
it's
is what it is until
what
it
it
isn't.
isn't.
Girl, you better write that book.
Mm-hmm.
You better write
Mm-hmm.
that book. That is a whole mouthful
Yes.
to sit down and marinate on and get ready for that book to come out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I'm
it
doing a
is
lot of
what it is until it
what
isn't.
isn't.
I love it.
You know, and it's
Yes.
like my life just, you know, I thought I had it going on. I thought all of that, you know, and it is what it is, but it isn't that. You know,
Wow.
who I
Wow. Wow.
am now is who I was meant to be, who God has called me
Yes.
to be.
Wow. Wow.
So that's
Listen,
what
you
I want to be.
you are just such an interesting guest. I want you to know that you are in tune to Around the Table. I am your host. My name is Alicia. I am a vision coach, and tonight is a special edition. We usually come on every Friday night at 5 p.m. This Friday, we're not. It's my birthday weekend, and I am not going to be available for Around the Table. So, we wanted to do a special edition tonight so that you could still get us this week. So, I'm here with my guest, my sister queen friend Valerie, and her journey has been a great one. We've known each other going on 2 years now,
Mhm.
and just about 2 years. We
Yes,
met
yes.
over social media, and we've just been able. And I want to talk about this one thing. I wrote it down here. You always talk about wellness, and one of the things that I laugh at every day when you do it, and you say, I am going to the gym, my boyfriend. I think that is the cutest thing. When you started saying my boyfriend, the gym, I know people was like, oh boy,
Oh,
but
please.
so tell me a little bit about your physical journey.
I used to weigh 400 pounds. And in 2014, I had gastric bypass. No, it wasn't. No, 2007. 2007, I had gastric bypass.
Okay.
So in 2014, I lost my husband, and I went to started going to the gym. You know, because it took me 4 years to get myself together. You
Okay.
know, so I started going to the gym. Now he passed in 2014, so I started going to the gym to get myself together. Because that was my happy place. That was a place where nobody was going to bother me. I was there by myself. I was being successful for me. So I liked.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I started coining it as my boyfriend Jim because I like going so much.
Yes.
So
Okay.
then I say it all the time. Now people follow me. If I can be out somewhere, and it's people I don't even know, and like, I know you, you and your boyfriend Jim. I need to have your boyfriend Jim.
Yes.
But I want to share this. This is the funniest thing in the world. I think this is so ridiculous. Someone called my fiance and said, Valerie's going to the gym and she has a boyfriend there. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, Jim? He said, yeah. He said it's spelled Gym. Who spells her name like that? And then people are like, why are you talking about your boyfriend when you have a fiance?
Right.
Who spells their name Gym?
GYM. Exactly. Exactly. People sometimes people don't get it like others do, but for me it was the funniest thing. But I remembered when we first talked, you did tell me that you were at 400 pounds at one time in your life. Um and sometimes those are the things that create you to keep silence.
Yes,
But when you have all that toxic stuff going on within you, and and you're discovering some of this stuff happened from my childhood, and so I satisfy myself maybe with eating, or
yes,
is it some people like to think it's a thyroid problem or whatever. But sometimes we really put ourselves and our body, and so now your crusade is wellness and wholeness, because you have had that experience of being um unhealthy,
yes, yes.
an unhealthy weight. So my question to you is, um do you write about that in any of your books?
You know what? Believe it or not, no. You
You have
know, I don't know why I don't. I think because I'm so taken by my journey of healing,
Yeah,
healing,
that you're over it, right?
and that is just like something I do. It's
Yeah.
fun. But I'm gonna tell you, Alicia, that at the gym is where I get a lot of downloads from God, because that's my meditation time, that's
Yes.
my reflection time. Like, I don't want people come, hey girl, how you doing? I'm good. Got things on, don't talk. Sneeze, don't talk to me. But I just want to spend time alone and just really hear from God. And I pray, I write when I'm at the gym. I do a lot of different things at the gym. It really truly is my happy place.
Yes. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Let's see. Cynthia said, wow, 400 pounds, but look at you now. That's what we concentrate on, her journey, and where she's come. Um, Let me see. They love the title of your book. See, those are the things we concentrate now in our lives, especially. Listen, on Wednesday, I'm gonna be 67 years old. I don't have time.
Great.
I don't have time to really live in my past, because what I have of my future that I'm looking forward to, it's like you said, I used to be a superwoman, and that's my whole book. And I
Hmm.
took my superwoman cape off, you know, and now I'm not a superwoman anymore. I am totally a superb woman. I am happy with me and the things that I do. I love being an inspiration to women. I love being a vision coach. And so I don't have time for all the things of the past, because, like you said, I'm healed from
Yes,
those
yes,
things.
yes,
Because, breaking free and becoming healed is something that I think a lot of women need to strive for, rather than always going back to their past. It's
yes,
okay.
yes,
The word of God tells us all things are passed away.
yes,
So look and see what's new. Take those
yes.
things as an experience, and that you have healed, and that you've moved into a next place in your life.
Hmm.
But I wanted to say this: writing is so cathartic.
Yes, it's therapeutic. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
you don't have to print everything you write. Some of it is so that you could gain freedom.
Hmm.
So it's so important that you write things down, that you,
Journal,
even if it
journal.
doesn't turn out to be a book, like you or
Yeah, you
I
can
as
journal.
authors, a journal. And
Yeah,
that's what you said you're going to do a break. When
break
do
the
you think
silence
that you're going
journal.
to work on that?
Um, probably after I get married. Because
Okay.
right now I'm, working on all of that.
Overload. Also,
Um,
so you're just telling everybody right now you're getting married. You may as well let the audience in on this big break the silence. Tell.
God is so good. God is so so good. I mean, this is a fairy tale for real, for real. This man seen me on a dating site, and since I, was in the domestic violence thing, I didn't do the dating site, but my information's still on there. But you can't. They can send stuff to me, but I can't send stuff to them
To
or anything.
them. Okay.
So he was like, "I'm writing her, and I read your profile, and I really want to meet her, but she's not answering." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't say that to him then. I was like, because I don't pay. I'm not on there."
Yeah.
So he prayed and asked God to tell him how to get in contact with me. So he said, I was looking all over for you. I couldn't find you. And he said, I told God, because he's a bishop. He said, I told God I couldn't find her. So he said, go to social media. And he said, all I had was your last name. So I looked for your last name. And he said, I found her. So he started calling me on Messenger. And I'm like, I'm not answering that. I don't know who he is. And so I wouldn't answer. So then, like I think, like the sixth time, he left a message, and his voice was like really nice and mellow. And I was like, he told me his name. He told me, he said, in your thing said you like tall guys. I'm 6'8". I'm a really nice gentleman. And I'm like, whatever. So he said, call me. Gave me his number. So I waited like a couple of days. So I called, and he said, well, I want to take you out today. And I was at work. I said, well, I'm at work. He said, well, that's fine. That's good because I can meet you at work. It's public. I'll meet you at work.
Yes.
So he met me at work. He took me out to lunch, and we've been together ever since. And he was like, I knew I wanted to marry you before I met you.
Wow. What
And
a
he is
fairy
just,
tale.
God is just, he saved the best for last.
Yes.
I've never, I mean, I've been married before, but the love that this man shows to me is, he's God sent. God orchestrated this whole thing.
Amen. Well, I am excited for you. I guess it means keep hope alive. I don't even know if I want to be married. Let me just tell you the truth. So I don't even know if I don't want that. I don't know. So I'm not even thinking about that, but I'm just
Whatever
excited.
God has for you, he'll.
Yeah, he's going to have to come down from heaven and say, but it's okay. But I am excited for you. I'm looking forward to your wedding. Yes, Cynthia, here comes the bride. We have a bride among us. We have an author. We have a talk show host, and we have a queen sister. So Valerie, I want to thank you so so much for coming on tonight and joining me around the table and just talking. See, a lot of times we have to have avenues where it's just a relaxed conversation, not so much you're doing a show. And that's what I want around the table to be. That's the
Mhm.
new direction that I have been taking it, where we can just talk, we can get to know each other, know about the person, using whether they are author, a coach, or an entrepreneur is the way I bring you in, but it's also for that warmth. And I think tonight that we're walking away from here with a lot of warmth from you because we have seen a whole rounded of you up from your past to the middle and now to the future of what God is going to do. And we're looking forward to your book. So would you please let them know how they can get your book?
If you put the information up, I have a bit.ly that you can, all my books are listed under. So you can go there, or you can email me at hello@purposedforwellness.com. And if any of your listeners want to purchase my book, I am giving out the Break the Silence and Knight in Rusted Armor, both books for $35 plus shipping and handling.
Oh, that's great. So repeat the email address again.
hello@purposedforwellness.com.
Okay. And you see her bit.ly link going across the screen. Support her, support the authors, support the coaches, support the entrepreneurs that come on around the table, as I am looking forward each Friday to coming on and just introducing you to someone. I thank you so much for being my guest this evening, coming and sitting here with me. And as we leave, is there anything that you want to leave our listening audience with this evening?
Let me see. Never give up on God. And never doubt that He didn't hear your prayer.
That's good. Never give up on God and never doubt that He will hear your prayer.
Mm.
Listen, I just want to invite you all to go to Amazon.com and get my book, my newest book. It's called 9 Days of Quotes and Activations. I just did the 9 day challenge with it. I will be doing the 9 day challenge again in February with it. It's full of quotes. The activations have to be activated as we do the quotes. But if you want to get the book, it's $9.99 on Amazon. You can get it now and hold on to it until February if you want, or you could wait until closer. But I just want you to know that this is my newest book. It is available. It's on Amazon. It is full of quotes from day 1 to day 9. I did it as a celebration of my birthday, which is September this month, the 22nd, the 9 days, and you give birth to something. So support authors, support these sisters, and if you have a book and you want to come in my on the show, inbox me and I will tell you how you will be able to do that, to come and sit around the table with me. If you're a coach and you want to come on and talk about what you do as a coach, that is fine as well. And if definitely if you're an entrepreneur and have products that you sell or whatever, that's what this show is all about. It's a place for coaches, authors, and entrepreneurs. Just DM me, I will get back with you and we can make arrangements and set a date for you to come on around the table. So, once again, thank you so much, Valerie, for being with me on around the table. And I look forward to talking to you soon and actually being on your show. I will
Yes.
all my listening audience know when I am going to be on her show. God bless you, my sister, my queen friend, and thank you so much once more. Have a
Thank you.
fantabulous evening.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And until next time, ta ta.
Bye bye.